So we are here at Hopkins Road. This road connects Route 140 down to Route 83 in Ellington. It's a dirt road, pretty good condition. You know, probably on a scale of 1 to 5, it's probably a 1.5. 1 being closest to pavement. Beautiful day, obviously, here with the foliage. Only got a couple more weeks of this. Cars coming down 140, probably doing 50 and 60 miles per hour. Crystal Lake Road, and we'll take a ride. This got a little bit of a history for me, my brother, and my family as well. So let's take a ride and check it out. Had a really nice recording going a couple weeks ago and got home and checked it out. And the recording didn't save, so maybe I never hit record. Maybe the battery in the camera was dying, but for whatever reason I lost the video, and that's too bad, because 2 weeks ago this was a much nicer scene, a little bit more colorful, and about 20 degrees warmer. We are Hopkins Road. You can watch the intro, see all the beautiful colors, but unimproved road, pass at your own risk. That's what we like to see. So Hopkins Road was not quite this nice going back 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It was not quite this smooth. And one little anecdote about this road is Christmas Day, probably 1979 or 80, because Tim had his license, but not a car. Well, it was the coldest Christmas I can remember. I should probably look it up. I could probably figure out the year. It was, honest to God, it had to be 0 with a wind chill of -10 or 20. And Grandpa Steve's car would not start. Battery was dead. And the only way we were going to get it to start was to use Grandma Mimi's Super Beetle, an orange Volkswagen Beetle, probably in 1973. Unfortunately, Tim had left the jumper cables over at our friend Phil's house. So Grandpa Steve said, we'll go get the damn jumper cables, we're going to get the car started. So Tim and I jumped in the Beetle, and this was a good shortcut to get over to Phil's. Probably better in the summertime than in the winter, because we came through here, I don't know, probably right about here, hit a patch of ice. I don't know if we were traveling too fast. You know, we were pretty young. Skidded off somewhere probably over here and hit a tree. And we were both okay, but the Volkswagen Beetle was not. The running board on the driver's side was all mashed up, and Tim might have banged up his arm or his leg a little bit. But we were okay. We had to get out and walk to the nearest house, because there were no cell phones, of course, in that freezing cold weather, and call Dad and give him the news, and he was not too happy. And he came and picked us up, and I think a tow truck probably came and got the Beetle, but the Beetle was no more. It was totaled, could not be fixed. Poor Mimi. And as much as she loved that car, and it really did fit her style, it was not the most reliable vehicle. I can remember getting stuck a couple times where it wouldn't start. And if you sat in the back seat in the wintertime, you were going to freeze your ass off, because there was no heat in that car. And it was loud. I remember you rode with the windows down. It felt like somebody was taking a hammer to your ears. But nonetheless, Mimi loved her orange Super Beetle. So they actually paved this half of the road. I don't think this was paved back then. It's a nice scenic ride, though, coming down the hill of the town. And that is the story of Hopkins Road. I also remember being on a dirt road with Tim one time, and he had the awesome 69 Cavero convertible that was a great friggin' car. 327, 8-cylinder. Everybody wanted to ride in that car. It was kind of a piece He put a new top on it because the top was so beat up. And we were on a dirt road with a bunch of friends once, and there was just too much weight in the car and the suspension couldn't handle it, and we were bottoming out on the dirt road, and a bunch of us had to get out while one person stayed in and drove. That might have been here on Hopkins Road. Not sure. It might have been up near Soapstone Mountain.